Wagwan! What's going on? I can tell you one thing that's going on. Carnival is going on in Trinidad and Tobago right now. But I'm here telling you guys a story, and it's story time, okay? Story time. So some time ago, I had picked up a shift at the surgery center, and when I got there, I got the really quick orientation, and in a lot of surgery centers, the documenting is on paper, which is fine because we're sort of assessing and then documenting the same thing every 5 minutes or every 10 minutes or every 15 minutes. It doesn't take long at all for me to pick up on the documentation. Just show me where I have to do what I have to do and I'm good to go. So needless to say, I was ready to take patients almost immediately after they gave me my little 15-minute orientation. You get a really quick orientation when you are either registry or you are a contract nurse. They're expecting you to be on your P's and Q's, and that's fine. But I'm saying I was ready. Orientation didn't even take 15 minutes. I was like, cool, got it. Where do I find this? Cool, got it. I'm ready to take the patients on them. So the patients start coming out. And in a lot of surgery centers, you'll have where they'll specialize in certain things. This surgery center only does orthopedic. This surgery center only does GI. This surgery center only does eye procedures. Well, this one that I was at, this particular day, did a slew of things. There was no specialty. It was just a matter of which surgeon was working that day. So sometimes it would be a urologist working that day. A urosurgeon would be the one doing the cases. And there would be a gastroenterologist. So there would also be GI cases. And an orthopedic surgeon. So there would also be ortho surgeries. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. None of these things are things that I'm unfamiliar with. But I'm saying that the first set of patients that were coming out were pretty easy because they were only GI. And GI cases are really easy to recover because you're not getting a whole lot of drugs. There's not a whole lot of slicing. It shouldn't be any slicing open. And there's no pain. You should not be in pain. You should not be in pain after either a colonoscopy or an EGD. And if you are, we have a problem. So I'm not saying I was flocking to those patients because they were the easiest. I'm saying I wasn't doing anything. I'm already familiar with the documentation. I'm ready to take a patient. And I feel like in a lot of surgery centers, staff nurses and charge nurses would complain about the fact that registry nurses don't do anything or they're always on their phone. And I'm standing there like, give me a patient. And the charge nurse will call her Gertrude. I don't know. Gertrude's like, no, it's fine. Such and such will take this patient. No, it's fine. So and so will take this patient. And I'm like, okay, maybe she's got me in a rotation because some surgery centers will do that, Like some surgery centers will go via rotation or some surgery centers they'll assign you to a bay. You're in bay 3 and 5. Whatever goes into 3 and 5, that's yours. You know what I'm saying? And then if you're 5th in the rotation, every 5th patient that comes out is yours. You know what I'm saying? So I could not figure out how she was doing things until a very complex case comes out. And I'm like, oh, she was saving me for this. I don't say anything initially because in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, you're here to work. Just do your job, do your thing, and you'll be good to go, right? Right. So I do what I have to do. I'm recovering this patient. This patient has a lot going on, which is fine. It's fine. But then, instead of telling the next nurse who's available to take the next patient that comes out, she'll be like, Ashley, I'll also have you take this one. No, you won't. No, you won't. No, you won't. I was like, listen, I'm not really sure how you guys do things here. I don't know what rotation you're operating from, but I just got this patient. I'm not ready to settle another patient, especially considering all of your other nurses got one patient at a time. Like you were going from, that was my dog, if you just heard him bark. Excuse us. You were going from, I don't know, Stacy, Monica, Jessica, Jamie, Ashley, and then Ashley again? No. So she gonna say, well, what am I supposed to do? Not me getting extra dramatic, because you're playing in my face now, like you're playing. And this is not an uncommon thing that happens with registry and contract nurses. Like, they'll be like, since you're getting paid the most, I'm gonna give you the most work to do. No, you still need to be fair. Cut that shiggity shit, shaggity shit out, okay? So when she says that, I point to like 2 other nurses that are twiddling their thumbs. I'm not trying to be a tattletale, but homegirl, it ain't no secret. They're sitting at the nurses station on their phone. Like, you're not about to do that. And she's like, well, what about the nurses that need to go on lunch? That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. The nurses that need to go on lunch can be covered by the 2 nurses that ain't doing shiggity shit chit chat. Okay? She rolls her eyes and walks off mumbling something. I don't care. I don't care. So I continue to take care of my patient, discharge the patient, and then she comes up to me and makes a whole show talking about some, are you ready for your next one now? She did not have to do that. That was not necessary. So I made a solid point. I stuck up for myself, and now you're turning into a 15-year-old, like we're all back in high school, and you're trying to make a spectacle out of it, like you're trying to be a bully now. Absolutely not. I was like, I mean, I can go. I can leave. Like, it didn't seem like you needed me very much at all today. Like, it took you several patients before you gave me a patient, and that patient was a heavy patient. So it doesn't look like you need me. Like, what would you like to do? So again, she rolls her eyes and walks off. Now in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, homegirl has one more time to act strange in my face. One more time. So it's time now for me to take my lunch. The time has come, okay? Is there hair on my lips? Feels like it. I got the hair off my lip. Back to the story now. So it's time for me to take my lunch. I go find the charge nurse. I'm like, hey, I'm ready to take my lunch. She's like, no, we're not gonna need you after the 6th hour. So when you're only working 6 hours, you don't take a lunch, you just take a break. I didn't even get my break. So she could have told me some time ago that she wasn't gonna need me after 6 hours, but it's fine. I'm getting to leave in about 30 minutes anyways, because I've been there for 5.5 hours at this point without eating. So with some facilities, or excuse me, damn, is that another hair? Yes, it is. Don't get a cat. With some not facilities, with some agencies or some apps, what they'll do is they'll pay you for 4 hours if you had only been there for the first couple of hours. And then if you're not there for the full 8, they'll pay you for 6 or the 80% of the shift. And then if they tell you to leave at the 6th hour, they'll pay you for the full shift. Not every agency or not every app that allows you to pick up shifts is done the same way. All you need to know is that if you are sent home, you are guaranteed to be paid a certain amount of hours. If you ask to leave, you're only getting paid the amount of hours that you've been there, regardless of what the guaranteed hour policy is. I hope that makes sense. So because she sent me home at the 6th hour and my schedule was to work 8, I'm going to be getting paid for this full 8 with this agency. And so I'm about to step out of the actual facility, and as I'm walking out, she's in the manager's office and she walks out. They're both looking at the computer screen, and she walks out and she was like, hey, I know we told you to leave at 6. Why does it say you worked for 8? This had happened to me before, and I had shared this story on TikTok and on IG. Follow me, The Beholder of Beauty on TikTok and The Soul of My Pen on IG. Anyways, but this is a different story. So I was like, well, the way the agency is set up, the way the app is set up is if I'm sent home, then I get paid for what I was supposed to get paid for. I just have to be sent home at a certain point in the shift. And so she was like, well, then you might as well just stay and work the remaining 2 hours. I was like, no. No. No, no, no. I am leaving, you can't stop it. So, no. You wanted to be slick and play games all day. I had to do it with the mic. No. No, have a good one. She had the audacity to turn back around and look at her manager and then look back at me and was like, what? Goodbye. 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 So I said all of that to say, make sure you guys are familiar with all of your policies and what the agency offers and what your guaranteed hours are like, so that when it does come down to any circumstances that may not be exactly like this but are similar to this, you know what your rights are. You know how you are protected, and therefore you know how to move. You know what I'm saying? Not every situation requires for you to get all quick doesn't make any sense, to get all loud and you know, aggressive. But you know, as long as you know what you're promised, what is being protected for you, then you could move with subtlety, you could move with peace, and then at the end, when all is said and done, you can say, no, the policy says I'm protected. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, baby. So anyways, guys, pretty please take a look at Zyla. The link is below. It is going to send you to my link tree, and you will be able to take a look at my merch, my storytelling podcast, my what else I got going on? My editor, Blake Quake Beats, my music. Y'all, it's a lot. It's a lot. But thank you for your support and for sticking with me as I continue to pump out this content at the rate at which I pump it out. Sometimes it's consistent and sometimes it's sporadic, but thank you for being consistent. Thanks, guys. Bye.